This is Jackie, and I'm here with Alex Cano. And how are we doing today? You've got a busy week.
Yeah, very busy week. Doing well, though. How are you?
Good. Your new single, Doing It Wrong, comes out tomorrow.
That's
Who
right.
or what inspired your song lyrics for this one?
Well, I kind of wrote this one like in a state of burnout, honestly. I just, that first verse just kind of came to me off the cuff. Like I was like I'm a music teacher too, and like I was like on a break, and I just scribbled that down, and I like unintentionally interrupted myself with the lyric, "You don't enjoy the ride, man, you're doing it wrong." And what that was I've got two buddies, Matt and George, from my hometown that, I used to spend a whole lot of time with. And like, they're kind of like your good time buddies, like the guy, they were like the close down the bar together on a Tuesday kind of friends. And like, it was like an old Cheers. Like George used to always say that if you don't enjoy the ride, you're doing it wrong. And like, for some reason that came to my head, and I thought about what that meant at the time. And it was just like, I don't know, kind of just connecting to like a simpler time, and at the same time just trying to remind yourself to like just enjoy the process. Like as chaotic as it is sometimes, as burnt out as you can feel, it's just you have to have fun with it.
I think that's good advice no matter what profession you're in. I'm also a teacher,
Sure.
so when it comes to being burnt out, I can relate to that on all sorts of levels as well.
Yeah. What do you teach?
I teach high school English.
Cool. All right.
So I definitely know a little something about burnout.
Sure.
How is Doing It Wrong an evolution of your sound since Every Rise of the Sun?
Well, there's a lot of edge to it. There's one song on Every Rise of the Sun that's kind of like more of an up-tempo thing called Asleep at the Wheel. But this is kind of even further, like it's almost like borderline like skater punk, but it still has like, it's pretty like, I play a lot of slide guitar, so it's like pretty like slide and blues drenched at the same time. So I don't know, I feel like it kind of like explores two different avenues, and like I don't have a lot of stuff that's like, it's more of that like fast spoken verse the way that it is and stuff like that. So it's a continuation, it's just different.
And you're kind of the DIY master. How involved in all of the processes from the instrumentation to the recording and producing were you with this track?
Very much so with this one. So I played almost everything on it. Did all the drums, all the bass, all the main guitars, the slide guitar dubs, all the vocals, lead and backing. And then my buddy Kevin Myers, who's actually my touring drummer but plays keys on my records, laid down the keys to this. And our touring guitar player Ryan McLean, who I've been playing with since high school, who's incredible, did the second half of that, or the first half of that solo, that like shreddy part in there. And he's such a great player. And then the production, I was the executive producer on it. Kevin assistant produced it with me. I mixed it mostly myself, but in conjunction with my friend Sam Stoff at Mercer University, who's an incredible engineer. And then we had it mastered by Ted Jensen at Sterling Sound.
So being that involved, does that lead to burnout, or does that lead to having the control you feel you need as an artist?
I don't always do it this way, but well, I guess the first record and this, but yeah, it can drive you a little crazy. But then at the same time, I think we kind of passed it off at the right time. Like I felt like the right amount of involved for this one, because I think, I write folkier stuff too, right? So like if we're doing something that's more of like an Americana kind of folk track, like I really like to have the band in a room on that, and I kind of like to be a little bit more hands off and just let a vibe kind of happen organically. This one was more of like a really meticulous, like detailed instrumental arrangement. So like part of the fun of mixing this was like, you had these two like dancing guitars between like my slide on the left and you had like Ryan's part on the right, and like really working with how everything interacted together. Like I got to spend a lot of time with that, which I think would have drove somebody crazy if I asked them to do it. So that was fun. But I feel like I got help where I needed to get help. Like Sam has like such a knowledge of like the real technical ins and outs of mixing that like I don't. So like he really helped me to set up to like get the drum sounds right and stuff like that. And like I've got a good set of ears, and he's got like really the chops too, and a great set of ears. And then obviously Ted Jensen's done everything from, you know, Green Day, Kaleo, Guns N' Roses, you Post Malone, you name it. So, and then we had our Mikhail Pivovarov, who uh, mixed and mastered my first record. He was the one who engineered the drum session and the guitars on this, and just got some really great sounds. So,
And how does the new single represent the sound on your upcoming album?
it's one part of it, I guess. I feel like what I'm writing right now is kind of eclectic, I guess. Like it really spans between stuff that's in this kind of a lane and explores deeper into that kind of rootsy folk Americana as well. So I think this and this, you know, one of the next singles that I'm putting out called Reckless Again are really kind of like a good marriage with each other. Just really kind of Black Crowsy slide guitar rock, you know.
So it sounds like you have a decent amount of songs. So where are you in the process of the album?
I'd say about halfway through the writing. And I mean, those I'd say I would have half of it basically done. I mean, I've got to track 2 of those 4. Reckless is done. And then there's really just kind of a batch now that I'm working through that I need to choose from to kind of complete that second half. So we'll see.
So what messages so far do you hope your fans grasp from listening?
To the song specifically or in general?
Either one, but let's start off with the new single.
You know, with this one, it's definitely kind of a, you know, have faith and enjoy and trust the process sort of thing. I think, you know, you look around the world right now and just the climate of where everything's at. Like, I think a lot of people are facing burnout and treading water right now. And, you know, a lot of my friends who are musicians and stuff, like it's never an easy time. It's definitely not an easy time. So, you know, it's a good, healthy reminder to, like, you know, laugh it off a little bit too. Like I went a pretty comedic route with some of the video content for this. And, you know, if you've ever seen like Foo Fighters videos and stuff, I was pretty inspired by like Lemmy driving the limo and white limo and stuff like that. So this one is definitely kind of just, you know, about enjoying it. But in general, like, I don't know, I write a lot about a lot of like overcoming things and life, and everything's very autobiographical there, right? So you know, there's a lot of stories of like resilience in it and just having faith, don't quit, you know.
I did appreciate those sort of old school video nods. I think, you know, music videos in 2025 is kind of an interesting concept. What role do you feel they play in your musical career when we haven't had a channel dedicated to it in, I want to say, like almost a decade? I can't even keep track.
Oh, I miss that so much. I still scavenge through YouTube for like good music videos and stuff too. I really appreciate that. And it's cool because, like, I don't know, I like ones that also that have a sense of humor too, you know, like especially when you listen to like some of the Foo Fighters stuff, it's just like it's so kick ass, and then you go watch the Learn to Fly video and it's like Taylor Hawkins is dressed up as a flight attendant. It's like I love that, man. You get to show like a whole nother side of yourself, you know.
Yeah, I think that what you just said is really important. I think especially with, you know, short form, whether it's Instagram or TikTok, you get like such a short idea of an artist. Not only are you trying to listen to what they're singing about, you're looking at them. I doubt there's enough time to really get a grasp of someone's personality. So perhaps that is one of the purposes of having music videos now, which is not a bad thing.
Totally. And you know, you can get a lot of that, and even in the short form, you know, you have a lot of different ways that you can present one song, which is kind of cool. Like when you think about like, all right, you're going to release a single, you know, what are you going to do? Maybe 20, 30 pieces of content. Well, you know, you have a lot of ways that can be expressed. Like you can have really cool live footage, you know, or you can have something that's funny, you know. I wouldn't force it, but like, you know, if you've got, like, I broke my foot, I had a scooter that my neighbor gave to me. So just so happened that the same week, like my buddy closed on purchasing a skate park, so I brought the scooter to the skate park, and that was like the teaser to the video. And I was literally just having fun, and we were just rolling cameras and like dropping in on the thing. So don't tell my doctor, but you know, like you have, I don't know, like that's a totally different way of presenting it. Than we have like really good live footage of that song, you know, or I can be talking about like the depth of like what that message is, you know, or I could be in a bar with Matt and George, just like reliving old times. Like this, just, you know, it's cool. It allows you, I think that it allows you to tell a story, you know, and really hit the different angles of a song.
And a different angle is your release party. What do you have planned? This will probably go live around the same time tomorrow, give or take, maybe.
Sweet. Yeah, we're gonna be at Garcia's at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester.
Nice.
Which is one of, you know, that's kind of our hometown club. So I've got two really good friends, Jake Wildhorn, who's a great artist. We actually are working on a single together right now too, and Emily Angel Band, with Emily Angel and Liam Murphy, who are awesome. We've done tons of shows together, so
Great.
yeah, that'll be a good time.
Well, and you've toured pretty heavily. Do you prefer outdoor music festivals or more intimate club situations?
Good question. Both, both. You know, I really there's something I really love about festivals, especially like just playing in front of a crowd that's like vastly not, you know, that has not heard your music or seen your show at all. Like having the ability to kind of like form a brand new relationship in that moment is really, really cool. So that's great. Like we had done Music Fest in Pennsylvania this past summer and had a great experience there. We do the Montauk Music Festival every year. But you know, you can't beat a rock show in a club either, you know. And I like playing acoustic shows in listening rooms, you know, and like the smaller intimate things. It's just like the video. It's like a totally different way of, you know, expressing the song.
And as you're transitioning into a new album, how do you go about crafting a set list?
The bandmates hate me for this, but I kind of don't. Like I'm a last minute live in the moment, call 'em kind of guy.
Oh, you call it out like right as like the song ends. You're like, this is what we're doing next. Like,
Sometimes, well, a lot of the time, yes. I'll I have like this like first three kind of my idea in my mind most of the time that we play. Like I know like the first three I'm starting with, I don't want the dead stage time. So we've got our transitions worked out. But like Kevin and I have played so much together in the last 6 years that like, I mean, if I play a note in between songs on guitar, he knows what I'm going into. Yeah, and he knows the key, he knows what's going on. So like, yeah, some sets, like tomorrow I've got 90% of the way written out. There are other times where we just fly. It's like whatever. We have a really good ability of ending on time. So I'm always watching the clock.
wow, that's some skill. And also with new music coming out, do you feel a certain pressure to be on social media and put out a certain amount of content at a certain amount of time, or is it organic or somewhere in between?
Yeah, that's the tricky part because right now it's kind of there's a combination going on right now of like this single's out, then you know we've got another one planned in a month with Jake, and then after that, so like I have to be very active promoting those. At the same time, half the record still needs to be completed from a writing standpoint. I'm like, I'd love to just shut off from the world and do that, you know? So you have to kind of get yourself in each mindset, even in the same day.
That's got to be tricky.
It was just tricky. Yeah. And then obviously, like, when you never stop gigging because this is really like our full-time job. So
So what's up next after the release show tomorrow?
we've got some shows going on throughout the fall that are cool. We have like another one in New York at the Bitter End coming up in November. But you know, I've got this broken foot going on right now, so I can't like I'm a drummer too, you know, so that's my kick drum foot. even in our acoustic shows, like I'm playing a kick drum, so I can't do that. And like I'm playing tomorrow on a bar stool. So like I'm gonna take this month and like really focus on, you know, promoting doing it wrong, writing, and honestly just getting healthy because we're gonna be hitting it so hard next year. So
That's probably the best plan for you right
yeah.
now. Well, thank you so much. Stay tuned for much more from Alex Cano. From Alex Cano.
All good.
We'll get there. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and In the Key of Change.
Thank you so much for having me.